Welcome, everybody. I'm glad to have with me today for the very first time our new president and CEO of the Dublin-Laurens County Chamber of Commerce, Jennifer Jarvis, and I hope this is the first of many interviews we do.
Absolutely, me too. Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning.
Absolutely. We're so excited you're here. We've been talking on the phone down in Grady County, and we've had some good conversations, and we've been excited for a while, but when we're recording this on a Tuesday, it's only your second day on the job, isn't it?
It is. It is. Second day in the office.
Well, I seem to know a lot about you, but our viewers know nothing, and I got a bunch of questions and things we're going to talk about. But before we get started, tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So I am originally from Moultrie. Moved to Cairo, Grady County 5 years ago and served as the president of the chamber there until this great opportunity come up. And I'm really excited to be here. I'm married. My husband and I have been married for a little over 30 years. I know I don't look like I have been married 30 years.
I think you start out not telling the truth.
See,
now, there's no way you've been married 30 years.
I have.
Unless you was just a child bride. Huh?
I have two children. I have, and both of my children are grown. My daughter's married. My son's not married yet, but yeah, so good family values, grew up. Actually, fun fact, because this seems to be interesting to a lot of people. Fun fact was, grew up on the road traveling, singing Southern gospel music.
Oh, wow.
So really good roots. My dad has been a pastor and evangelist all my life, almost all my life. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, just a good background. A lot of what I have noticed is a strong foundation for Dublin and Laurens County. So I'm excited to get integrated into this community and really get engaged.
What did you think when you first, you've probably been through Dublin before, but you looked at it a little differently when you were entertaining the prospect of coming and taking this position. But what was your first reaction about Dublin-Laurens County?
So my first reaction is the industries here. There's a lot of industry here that we didn't have in Grady County. So I know that workforce is a huge initiative here, and so I'm excited to dive into that and get involved in that initiative.
I was reading some background information on you, and I read where the chairman of the board down in Grady County, I think Mr. Pollock, if I remember right, said that he found out real quickly when you come to work there 5 years ago that he said, I found out she wasn't going to work behind a desk. She was out moving and shaking. So sounds like by being the daughter of an evangelist, y'all did move a lot. And if he was anything like my pastor, they're moving and shaking, and you got to stay with him. So you probably grew up with that personality, didn't you?
I did, and it actually developed my love for people. And I love to be around people. I love to meet new people. I love to find out interesting things about new people. And that's part of what has developed my love for the chamber work. Because I feel like in the chamber president and CEO role, a lot of my role is to form relationships with people. To serve our businesses and to serve our business community. So yes, I absolutely embrace that.
Well, I hope you got your running shoes on. We have 818 square miles in Laurens County. We're the third largest land-wise county in the state of Georgia. So there's a lot we got 600 miles of dirt roads. So it's a big piece of, I was born and raised here, moved off after college, but came back. But there's a lot of ground to cover here. Yes,
and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
When you first got into the chamber business, for lack of a better word, what drew you to this type position?
So my initial job in the chamber world was with the chamber in Moultrie in Coppell County, and I went in as the events person. And again, my personality is I love events, I love people, and so that is kind of what intrigued me there. And then I got in and realized contrary to popular belief, the chamber world is about much more than ribbon cuttings.
Amen.
So yeah, I love being able to connect businesses with potential customers and putting our business owners and business representatives in a room with people you wouldn't normally be in a room with. And so that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Our job is to help, because I've always said my goal as a chamber executive is not to see your business survive. I want to see your business thrive.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's kind of what drew me in. And then I got in, and then it was just, it's all history from there.
Well, can't you tell she's a natural? I mean, my goodness. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back right after this.
Premier Heating and Air is offering a special deal during July. $69 service call with first pound of Freon free. Have you heard about the Premier Heating and Air Club membership? Only $99 and get huge savings all year long. 20% off repairs, priority booking, annual cleaning and inspection. Get Premier Heating and Air's club membership today. Comfort, savings, and peace of mind. Call 478-300-2633 or log on to premierishere.com. Certain restrictions may apply. Cannot be combined with other offer. Offer expires 7/31/26.
Welcome back, everybody. Continue my conversation with Jennifer Jarvis. She is our brand spanking new, as we say in Grady and Laurens County. She is the president and chairman of the board of the Dublin-Laurens County Chamber of Commerce. Why should someone that's watching right now become a member of the chamber?
So I feel like the best reason to become a member of the chamber is because, number one, it promotes you as a good community partner. You want to support your community, you want to help other businesses, and you would be surprised what we can learn from each other.
Yeah.
So what one business owner is really strong at, another business owner there may be some opportunity for growth for them. And through the chamber, we can help connect you with each other, and you can grow from each other and learn from each other.
I know you don't know any of these people in this room. You can tell behind Jennifer and I some of the pictures here, but there's a lot of people in this room. All these people in this room did so much for this community, and I could go around and name each one and what they meant to me, and I knew them all personally. But do you feel like looking around this room right now? There's probably 100 pictures, maybe. I hadn't counted them. But, you ride on the shoulders of a lot of people.
That's right.
And even though you don't know these people, you're going to be riding on their shoulders. Our forefathers are why we're in the situation we are now.
That's right.
And it makes your job easier, not necessarily easy, but how does it feel when you look around this room here knowing you're riding on the shoulders of such strong community partners like these men and women?
So I actually walked around this room yesterday, came in here yesterday and walked around and looked at every one of the pictures and read the descriptions, and I actually thought about that exact thing. That's a lot to learn from.
Yeah.
And as much as I can learn from what is on these descriptions and what is, in this room, because history repeats itself.
Yes.
And so if I can live up to a portion of what they have contributed to the community, that's my goal.
Yeah, and Marcia Dixon, who is been the interim while we're waiting on you to get here. As you know, this is her two brothers over my shoulder here, Don and Wayne, and they've been I can't even think of the right adjective, amazing, incredible community servants. For this community. They have paved the way for people like us to come in and do the jobs that we do. I say that to ask you how you and Marcia's relationship has been. She was on the search committee.
She was.
So y'all met early on. So give me some insight there.
Miss Marcia has been amazing. She is a wealth of knowledge. I've learned so much. She asked me this morning how I felt when I left yesterday, and I told her I felt like my brain was going to explode because I took in everything. It's very obvious that she is a very well-respected lady in our community, and there's a reason for that, because she's so knowledgeable. And it was like every question I asked her, she had an immediate answer for. So I'm excited to continue. And I know that there will be a time, she'll phase out, but being able to, I feel like Miss Marcia is that person that will always be available to me. And will always be a great resource. Absolutely. And that's important. That's important in this line of work, in any leadership role, is having a mentor that can be a good resource for you. And I value that. Yeah. So.
And you're only as good as your people.
That's right.
I don't care how good you are or we are, you're only as good as your people. I don't care what you're running, TV station, Chamber of Commerce, insurance business. Those people, you depend on them. So let's brag on the staff here at the Chamber.
Yes. So I did a lot of research on the staff before I got here yesterday. And so Heath built a very strong team here. And I'm looking forward to working with that team. They each have, and I've spent some time with them yesterday and today individually. And they all have a great understanding of what their role is and what the mission of the Chamber is. Yeah. And so that's what makes them a strong team. So I'm looking forward to working with them.
Well, we have a lot going on already, and you're going to put your footprint on the Chamber pretty quick. But first of all, what are some of your short-term goals?
Short-term goal is I am here to listen to you. I want to know what our members want from the Chamber. I want to know what you need from us. I told the staff yesterday, I learned a few years ago, and I kind of changed my verbiage when I go talk to a potential member. And instead of them saying, well, what can the Chamber do for me? And that's usually the first question. If you go talk to a business, they'll say, well, why should I join the Chamber? What can you do for me? And so my initial response is, what do you need us to do for you? Yeah. How do you need us to serve you? Because that's what we want to be. And there is no right or wrong way. There is no one way to do things. It's almost like that old saying, all roads lead home. Yeah. So what works for one business may not work for another. So our goal as a staff and as a team will be to serve our members the way that they need us. Yeah. Be what they need us to be.
Where would you like to see the Chamber in 10 years?
Thriving, serving the members, a strong pillar of the community. I want it to be where I'd like for people to understand what the Chamber is and why we're relevant, why we're valuable, why should you be a member, and hopefully, we can get to the point where people will be able to understand that.
Well, you talk about meeting Chamber members and meeting the community. The search committee, you met some of our key players, of course, Superintendent of Schools, Lawrence County Schools. O.J. Hall was on it, Chairman of the Board at CEO at Fairview Park Hospital, Joey Barrett with Georgia Power, people like that, just incredible people. So, and the interview process was broken down into 3 parts.
Right.
And obviously you passed all 3. You made 100. I think you made more than 100 talking to some of those guys, but and women. But what did you think when you first met that group of people during that first phase?
Well, the first thing I saw when I walked in and sat down in front of them was it was very obvious that everyone around that table had a passion for what the Chamber does. And they were all committed to the Chamber and to the growth of the Chamber and also to the stability of the Chamber. And I appreciated that because that's important. That it's important to have a board that appreciates what we do and that is involved in what we do.
Yeah, they're definitely vested in
Absolutely.
the chamber as well as the community. I think they go
Yes.
hand in hand. And I'm one of those, talking to you on the phone, I told you I served as a chamber ambassador for 10 years, and I'm hardcore about things I believe in, and I believe in the chamber. And I'm one of those, I've said this many times, some of you may disagree with this, and that's fine. But I believe when you open a business that if you can't become a member of the chamber, I believe you're starting off on the wrong track, because you want to be a part of the chamber. You want to, you know, and I've had people tell me, well, I just don't have time. I said, well, that's where the chamber is more important, because we have a seat at the table.
That's
you know,
right.
we have a seat at the table with Matt Hatchett and Senator Larry Walker and our Congressman Rick Allen, our Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, and our school boards. And by you not having time, the chamber is even more important to you, because
right.
we represent that business, don't we?
That's right. We are an advocate for our businesses. And that for some businesses, that's what they need from us. And so that's what we can do for them.
Yeah, we can make them shine.
Yes,
There's no doubt about it. So
Absolutely.
I'm curious, you're in Grady County and things are good. You've been there 5 years. You love the people. You love the community. Obviously, you went there. And then this opportunity arose. What made you, I want to know how you heard about it and what made you respond in kind.
I knew you were going to ask that.
And I didn't give her, she asked me what the questions were, and I don't ever give questions to the guest. And you see why they picked her for this role, because you're just a natural. I've said that one time already. But what about that question?
So I was completely happy in Cairo. Loved my role in Cairo. Had no intentions. And I was talking to Heath at a conference, and he just kind of casually mentioned something about it, and I just got to, so I grew up, my dad was a pastor and evangelist. I have a strong spiritual background, and I just believe if God opens a door for you, there's a reason.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to not walk through a door that God has opened for me.
Yeah.
And so when it all started unfolding, I really spent a lot of time in prayer, because I said, God, you know I'm happy here. I'm happy where I am. My family is here. My parents are both still alive. They're in Moultrie. Both of my children are in Moultrie. My son-in-law, daughter, son-in-law, and my son are all in Moultrie. God, you know I'm established here. My husband has a job, you know. But God, if this is the door that you have for us, then make it happen.
And talking to you on the phone, you and I both, I believe in discernment.
Absolutely.
And it's like when I first interviewed Heath, as we're talking now, a little over 10 years ago, I felt that same discernment toward him. And I believe that, I know this part, God says he directs our steps.
That's right.
And he put you and Heath on that collision course at that moment in
That's
time,
right.
at that conference. It was totally by design. I truly believe that. And I had that same discernment towards you on the phone. We never talked about anything like this.
Right.
But, you know, you can always have that discerning spirit about people. They don't have to say, I'm a Christian, and holler it from the mountaintop.
Right.
But we have that discernment toward our fellow man, toward brothers and sisters.
That's right.
So I'm so glad to hear that, because faith is very important when it comes to serving in this type capacity. I just think it just gives you a leg up.
Yes.
You
I agree.
mentioned your husband a couple of times. So when you went to him and said, hey, I've been praying about this, I just feel like God's leading, and I know y'all prayed together.
We did.
But what was his reaction? Hold on, no, I don't want to move, I got a good job. What are you talking about, moving to Dublin, Georgia? What was his reaction?
how about, have you lost your mind? No, he's been very supportive from the first conversation we had. And that's something, he and I have always tried to support each other in, hey, if this is what you feel like you're hearing from God, then I'm going to pray about it. And if I hear the same thing, then we know, and that's where it went. I think he was initially shocked that I would even consider it. Because again, I was very plugged in Grady County, and we have a lot of friends there, and I've made some great relationships and there. And I think he was shocked. But he just looked at me and he said, "You've prayed about this, haven't you?" And I said, "I have." And he said, "Okay, well, I'm going to pray about it, and we'll come back and talk." So, but yeah, he said, "If this is what God has for us, then I support you 100%. Yeah. And so as things started rolling out, he still, he has not secured a job here yet. Right. But he went ahead and turned in his resignation at his job. And I said, what are you doing? What are you going to do? And he said, "It'll all work out." Yeah. And at that point, I knew he was totally on board, because he had just as much confidence in what we had heard from God. Yeah.
And that's how faith works.
Yes. Faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Yeah, absolutely. And
yes.
He knew through your prayers, you felt that call, so you knew you were going through the right door.
Yes.
And that's why he was able to put in that notice and resign and come to a community that knows little or nobody.
Right.
Not many people. He may know somebody, but don't know many people. So what about your kids? What was their reaction?
They have been very supportive. My daughter, she had a little bit of an emotional moment there. My son and my son-in-law both, they were all, they wanted to know where the golf course was, to be honest. They're big golfers, and so that's what but my daughter, Mom leaving, that was a little bit emotional for her. But they have been very supportive, because again, we raised them knowing that, hey, you follow the path God has for you, and that's what we told them. This is what we feel like. This is where we feel like God is leading us.
Yeah,
so
that's so good.
Yeah.
Well, tell her, one of your first events that you're going to be covering, and also, I guess I'm telling you this on television, but you'll be interviewing some of the golfers, Women on Business. The golf tournament's coming up. I think the 23rd. I shouldn't have said that date, but I think it's the 23rd. But so we'll be covering that. So what a perfect opportunity. If she wants to play golf, come on up and play.
Absolutely.
Women on Business. This is your invitation. I hope you're watching Mom on television. So, well, that's good. Let's take another break, and we'll come back and talk more.
Okay. You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Curry Maffett Insurance in Dublin and Augusta if auto owners make sense for you.
Hi, I'm Greg at Shamrock Honda Kawasaki, and riding season is in full swing. If you're interested in a sport bike, I've got two great options for you right here. I got the 2026 Honda CBR 600R and the Kawasaki ZX6. So come see us at Shamrock Honda Kawasaki here in East Dublin, 106 Savannah Avenue, 478-272-4563.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, I have with me today Jennifer Jarvis, our new president and CEO of the Dublin-Laurens County Chamber of Commerce. A lot of you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook, some of you over the air. Jennifer, I found out in the many years I've been in the television business that it's evolved, and people my age, we watch television. Now, these younger people that are watching, a lot of you are watching on your iPad, iPod, iPhone, something with an eye on it, and they watch different ways than we do. But my point is, I don't care how you're watching, we appreciate you tuning in today. So you was talking about friends back in Grady County. I was reading some of the comments on Facebook, And you talk about moving away from your friends, and you would really put in strong roots there. But reading some of the comments was, we know where Dublin is, we're going to be coming up. I'm
Absolutely.
so sad that you're leaving, but we're so proud of you. That shows me, because you don't ever want to hold anybody back from
That's
what
right.
you feel like God's calling them to do. I've lost some good employees during the years, but I never tried to hold them back, because you want what's best for them and what's best for their family. And by reading the many, I don't know how many comments I read, but I could tell the friendships that you left behind. That's the tough part, isn't it?
That is the tough part. That is the tough part. But strong friendships like that don't end because of distance.
No.
So I feel confident that there will be those friends that you'll see in Dublin. Mm-hmm. That, you know, because I'm also that person that friendships are forever for me.
Yeah.
So we're excited. So, hey, who knows what kind of businesses may be popping up?
Yeah. Who knows what the future holds? There's
That's
no
right.
doubt about it. But there again, I mentioned a while ago, God directs our steps.
That's right.
If you had not went to Grady County, you would have never gotten to know, and this is how I look at my life. I would have
right.
never, or you would have never got to know those people and gain those friendships. So God gave you those relationships, and they're not
That's
going
right.
anywhere. Friends are friends.
That's right.
No matter if you're 1,000 miles away or 3,000 miles away. Fortunately, you're not, but a couple 100 miles away probably. But when you look at it that way, I know you appreciate being able to go to that community and gain those wonderful friends, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Friends are valuable, and I think it's relationships that keep us, number one, keep us accountable in life. And so those friendships are valuable to me. And I look forward to making new friendships in Dublin.
Yeah.
Because when you come to a new community, Laurens County, again, is the third largest landmass in the state of Georgia. So I have lots of friend opportunities here. And you're going to find out real quickly, I love people. And so the more friends I can have, the more people I can have in my life, the happier I am.
We've got a lot of great programs we've had for many years. One being the Ambassador Program. Now, when Heath come here, I've referred to it many times. He took the Ambassador Program and put it on steroids. It was always a good program. I'm not saying it wasn't, but he just took it up to that next level. And everybody can relate to steroids, even though I don't know what they look like, but that's how I saw Heath doing that. Of course, First Friday is a great program. Our women in business we have here at the Chamber are women playing golf together. All these kind of programs, but was there a program in Grady County that was successful that we don't have currently here in Laurens County?
So one of the programs that we developed through the Chamber was our local leadership program. And I know there's a leadership program here in Laurens County, but there wasn't one in Grady County when I got to Cairo. And the Chamber took the initiative and developed our local leadership program, and it ended up being very successful. And then last year we started a young professionals program. Now you're going to think this is funny because a couple of people at a conference I was at last week couldn't believe it, but we classified young professionals as 21 to 45. Some people think we may have gone a little too far on one end of that, but you know, I'm a little over 45, and I think that's still young myself.
Yeah.
But so we had developed our young professionals program, and it has been very successful also.
Well, it's all relative. I remember many years ago, I thought 40 was ancient.
Absolutely.
40 was old, and now at 66 years old, 40 is just a kid. So,
well, you know, that is our next generation of leaders.
Yes.
That is the people who, when we're retired, we're gone, whatever, they're going to be the ones to lead. So who better for them to learn those skills from than people, just like we learned from a lot of these people, you know, in the portraits on the wall. So, you know, you instill that And that's another bonus or perk of joining the chamber is you can take part in those. You can be at that table and you can help develop other leaders and, you know, instill in those new business owners what you've already learned. You know, because businesses go through things and you learn valuable lessons.
Yes.
And so it's important for those younger businesses, and when I say younger, I'm talking about not necessarily younger in age, but the number of years that the business has been in existence. It's important for them to learn what you have learned. Yeah. So.
And they are our future.
That's right.
And I truly believe if you're not bringing in young people to the chamber or young people in your church, if your nursery's empty at church and you don't have young people, you're whistling past the graveyard.
Yep.
Literally, you have to grow. We need these young people because at my age, I told somebody the other day, you know, my dad's 89 and 66 years was like, you know, the book of James says life's a vapor and then we vanish.
That's right.
And it's just a mist, as I think the King James says, a mist. So, you know, you think about that mist, and I was listening this morning to Kenny Chesney's song, Don't Blink.
Yeah.
And, you know, that old man says at the beginning of that song, he said, when I was a little boy, me and my friend would lay in the yard and count the stars. But he says now, the old man was 102, he said it's like a bullet. And, you know, the older we get, the faster our life is moving.
That's right.
And I know I'm in the last quarter of my life, not being morbid or anything, but it's just a fact of life. And that's why we want to encourage these young people to get involved. Now, we want to nurture them. And we want to hold their hand and we want to walk them through, and hopefully they don't make the same mistakes we made.
That's right.
And that's what we need to show. They'll make their own mistakes.
That's right.
But hopefully, you're talking about history repeating itself. Well, we don't want those bad historical moments to repeat themselves. That's why we need to know our history. So
yes, and develop those leaders. John Maxwell said, a good leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. We're going to take another break and come back and wrap things up.
Mid-State Tractor and Equipment will be closed from July 16th through July 21st due to relocation to 492 Fire Tower Road in Dublin, Georgia.
Valiant Bank knows Georgia. From her sweet small towns to the hard-working people driving her growth and industry. And as Georgia's strongest community bank, we're here to support locals like you, wherever you find yourself in our beautiful state. So get out there and do what you do best. Make Georgia proud.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap things up. I'm so glad to have been able to sit down with Jennifer today. I started talking about at the very onset that this would be the first of many times together, not only talking on television, but all over the community. But when people see you around town, and you're going to find this out, I hear all the time people, you're that television man. When I go to introduce myself, they say, I know who you are. And I think it's just natural. I just want to introduce myself because I've never met the person.
Right.
But what do you want people to know when they see you out and about at the grocery store, department store? What do you want them to know about you?
I want you to understand I am approachable. My door is always open. And I am here to serve the community, and I am here to serve our businesses. And I look forward to getting to know people. And if there's anything the Chamber can do for you or your business, please don't hesitate to ask. There may be things that we haven't thought of. There may be programs that we haven't thought of, events we haven't thought of, but that if you're thinking it, more than likely someone else is thinking it too. So don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah. If you know something, say something.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, two more questions.
Okay.
If Jennifer Jarvis had a mission statement, what would that statement be?
Mission statement. My mission statement would be to always walk in the path God has for me in serving people the way that He wants me to serve them and loving them the way that He loves them, the way that He loves me.
Yeah.
Because as that song says, all my life He's been faithful.
Yeah.
And so I want to be faithful to Him and what He has for me.
Yeah, amen. And isn't it amazing? There's nothing we can do to stop God from loving us.
Absolutely.
And I know I've done some crazy things in my life, and
I'm
He
sure
loved
you
me
have.
through it all. Yes, I have. I was the black sheep of my family, but He loves you through it all.
That's right.
You cannot. God will not stop loving you. So it's just amazing when you think of that He loved me so much that He sent His Son. If I'd been the only person in the world,
That's right.
He would have sent Him for me.
That's
So
right.
it's just when you really sit down and think about it, and many times I'm in the car during the day and somebody look from the red light and think, that dude's crazy over there, he's talking to himself. Well, no, I'm talking to the Lord.
Yep.
Thanking Him for loving me that much.
Right.
And I say that all the time, in the car with just me and Him talking, but it is amazing when you think of that love. And you made me think of that moment. But, and last question, we've talked about your husband, talked about your kids, your mom and dad. So that we know, I need some names to go with them. So when I do meet them along the way.
Absolutely. My husband's name is Donnie.
Okay.
He is the youngest of 7 children. So he's got that baby syndrome. That's what I tell him all the time.
You had to train him?
Absolutely, absolutely. My daughter's name is Alexis, and her husband's name is Arturo.
Okay.
And then my son's name is Nicholas. And my parents are Daryl and Colleen Owens. And again, my dad was a pastor and evangelist all my life. And then I also have a brother and a sister.
Okay.
And they're very instrumental to me also, and lots of nieces and nephews and the whole 9 yards.
Close family.
Absolutely. I grew up in a very close-knit family.
And pastors really never retire, but
No,
has
absolutely
he stepped back a little bit? But I know.
Oh, no,
when
he's full-time pastoring.
Okay, I figured that. I had to know before, because I don't know many preachers.
Yeah.
They'll tell you retirement's not in the Word of God. So it's just hard not when you're called upon, even if you
Yep.
did step back full-time church. But
Yeah.
he's still.
He's still full-time pastoring, which is where we've been attending church. We're a member at his church. I lead worship on Sunday mornings.
Okay.
My husband is the sound engineer.
Okay.
So we're training people to kind of take over those roles too.
That's great. Heath is a pastor.
Yes.
And we got a worship leader coming in to take over the helm. So, I mean, we can't go wrong here. We may make a few hiccups, maybe a mistake or two, but, we'll work together
Yeah.
on it. We'll work it all out, won't we?
Absolutely.
Jennifer, thank you so much I know you're busy, second day on the job, but for you just actually taking the time to talk with me, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. James. I appreciate you reaching out to me. I enjoyed our conversation a few weeks ago on the phone too, and I was excited to get here and finally meet you face to face.
Well, here we are.
And here we are, and here's the first of many.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us today. At Bank of Dudley, we're your community, your bank. And with 7 branches to serve you, there's a Bank of Dudley close by. And there's a familiar face close by. The same familiar faces that you've seen for many years. The same people that you've grown to trust. Because that's what community banking is all about. 7 branches, local people, local decisions, local banking. That's the Bank of Dudley, serving our community since 1905.